The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 437 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Yeah, Once Upon a Studio will make you laugh, and more importantly, it'll make you cry.
There's a moment where Mickey is by himself in the hallway, and he sees this picture of Walt. Oh my god, I can't get through this.
And it's great to see the fans embracing her.
Yeah.
She would love that.
Well, I didn't want to get thrown out.
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland!
Here we go!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets love. It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! We have so much to celebrate in this episode, such as the 100th anniversary of Disney animation and the life of Star Wars costume designer Shawna Trpcic. All that is coming up very, very soon. But until then, we want to welcome everyone to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski. Now, everyone, please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah, who's trying so hard not to get hit by this Halloween balloon.
We were at Disneyland yesterday, and we got a Halloween balloon, because who can say no to these cute characters dressed up in Halloween and a orange Mickey head balloon behind them. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Which looked really good until we turned the ceiling fan on. Now the thing's bobbing around everywhere.
It is.
And Sarah's ducking and weaving like she's Rocky.
But it's very cute. We hope it's not too distracting on the YouTube version of this show, but yeah, we love it. All right, Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel fandom. So it's time. Imagine a big Wookiee hug from all of us and a little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. In this episode, we are celebrating the 100 years of Walt Disney animation by sharing a press event that we attended. Now, we were shown the new short, Once Upon a Studio, and the filmmakers themselves came out to talk about it with a Q&A. So we're going to share that experience, and we're going to share some of the bits we learned from that Q&A.
We will also celebrate the work of Shawna Trpcic, who was a costume designer on The Mandalorian Season 2 and 3 and The Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, and she became one with the Force on October the 4th at the age of 56. And along with working on these Star Wars shows, she also worked on Firefly, The Cabin in the Woods, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, and the 1993 film Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, just to name a few.
Yeah, she's very prolific. And Leilani Shu, who played the Jawa on The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and on Obi-Wan Kenobi, she is here to share stories of working with Shawna Trpcic.
All right, now we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world. And best of all, this service is free of charge. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you. All right, now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on October the 17th, 2023. And now it's time for the official Skywalking Through Neverland Halloween countdown.
Countdown is 14 days till Halloween.
That's 2 weeks away. That's coming way too fast.
Yes.
It just seemed like only yesterday we were celebrating the beginning of Halloween season in July.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's almost over.
It's almost over. We have our Halloween balloon from Disneyland. It's crazy.
Got a pumpkin over the Stormtrooper over here.
And our yard is all decorated, all Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It's so exciting. All right, well, beyond Halloween, though, Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
I'm so happy you asked me about that because we have to wish a big happy 40th birthday to Felicity Jones.
Whoa!
And Felicity Jones played Jyn Erso in Rogue One, as well as voicing the character in the animated series Forces of Destiny. Now,
Yay.
asked during an interview with Glamour which character she wanted to play as a kid,
Yeah?
guess who she said?
Han Solo.
Very close. She said, the first film I ever saw at the cinema was The Little Mermaid, so I always wanted to be Ariel. So
Nice.
by saying Han Solo, you were very, very close. You were almost there. Now she says, I am playing a Disney princess, a very contemporary, kick-ass Disney princess, Jyn Erso.
Yes.
That's awesome. Also on this date, on October the 17th, 1998, we saw the birth of Erin Kellerman. And Erin Kellerman played Enfys Nest in Solo: A Star Wars Story. And then Disney decided, hey, we like this girl, so let's bring her into the MCU, where she was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's right. And that came out in 2021.
Yes. And then Disney said, hey, you know what? She did really well in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Let's bring her back for Willow. So expect her to pop up in many more Disney Plus series. Good, because she's really, really nice. We had a little run-in with her at Star Wars Celebration Chicago. Couldn't have been nicer. So a happy 25th birthday to Erin Kellerman.
And now it's time for
Things We Want to Share.
Things we want to share. Things we want to share. Things we want to share.
So thank you to all the Skywalkers who sent in messages congratulating us for our 10th anniversary. Stop it with the balloon, okay? It's going to be there. Just accept it.
The balloon keeps hitting my head.
Just accept it, okay?
That's why. All right. Well, we are so excited. We want to share. We're going to be sharing these anniversary messages for months. And so we have 3 more to share today. The first one is from Wesley Meekums.
Hey, Richard and Sarah, I just wanted to send you a little message and say congratulations on 10 years of skywalking through Neverland. That's a pretty amazing accomplishment, and I've known y'all about 2 to 3 years of that, and it's just been a pleasure getting to know you, and I really appreciate all the content y'all put out, and I appreciate the Zoom chats you have, and during COVID, I know you used to have the trivia nights, which was a lot of fun, and it was fun to actually get to meet you in person when you came here to Florida, and we got to hang out at the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Parade, and got to watch you film some content, and we got to eat cookies, and then hanging out at Life Day thereafter. That was a lot of fun, and got to meet up with some other Skywalkers and everything. So I don't know, it's just been great getting to know you guys, and I love how accessible you are, and I look forward to more content in the future, and again, congratulations, and Neverland on Alderaan.
Thank you, Wesley, and we had a great time hanging out with him at the Christmas party, and we got so many of the cookies.
Yes.
I think I just ate the last of those cookies yesterday.
Yeah, because they're individually wrapped, so like they last.
And they have a lot of preservatives.
Yes.
So those will last a lifetime.
It's true.
So I had the last peppermint cookie yesterday. So if you're looking for it, it's no longer there.
Gone. How sad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Wesley. That was a lovely, lovely message. And now let's hear from Jeremy Hunt.
Hey, Skywalkers. I just wanted to chime in. This is Jeremy, by the way. Also,
Hi, it's Heather.
that's Heather. I wanted to chime in and wish you a happy 10-year podcast anniversary, and that is almost unheard of. And just say thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for all the episodes. Thank you for the community you've built. Richard and Sarah not only are good friends, but are some of the brightest lights in fandom. They just exude positivity. They've built a positive community. They encourage people. They bring together people like family. And I just want to say that our family really appreciates you, and congratulations on this milestone. 10 years of weekly podcasting is an unbelievable commitment and amount of work. And we just love you. And thanks for everything. And congrats.
Thank you, Jeremy and Heather Hunt.
Yeah. Wow.
Another bunch of Skywalkers we hung around with while we were in Florida.
Yeah.
Most of the Skywalkers live in Florida.
A lot of them do,
So we'll never be lonely in Florida.
No, that's awesome. Thank you for that heartfelt message. That is amazing. All right, lastly on this episode, we are going to hear from Mike Celestino of Laughing Place.
Who's coming in from Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, hey guys. It's me, Mike Celestino from laughingplace.com and the Who's the Boss podcast, coming to you from sunny Batu and wanting to wish you both, Richard and Sarah, a very happy 10th anniversary of Skywalking Through Neverland. I was trying to think of the first time I met or knew or saw you guys, and I think I remember at one of my early press conferences. I think it might have been The Force Awakens or one of the ones soon after that. I remember distinctly Richard in his R2-D2 suit jacket and Sarah in her, I think it was a BB-8 dress. And you guys are always so happy and enthusiastic to be at those events. And it was probably a few years after that we really started chatting and hanging out and being on each other's shows. So I'm very happy and thankful for that. But I've said all that before. The thing that I'll say now that I don't know if I've said this publicly, but I consume and talk about Star Wars for a living and write about Star Wars. So I'm just constantly immersed in Star Wars. So when I have free time, it's pretty rare for me to want to do anything Star Wars related. But I do listen to your show, which I think is a pretty big compliment. Like if people who know me and know what I'm like, when I'm commuting, when I drive actually down here to Disneyland from my home in Burbank, I always put on Skywalking Through Neverland and always enjoy it. It's literally the only Star Wars podcast that I listen to, including my own. I don't listen to my own. Skywalking Through Neverland is the one exception to the rule of not listening to Star Wars podcasts in my free time because I enjoy it that much. So happy 10th anniversary. I don't want to take up too much of the time on this show, but very well done. Very happy to have you guys as a reliable source of that kind of information and entertainment in this community, and glad to have you both as friends. Have a great show. Thanks again. Bye.
Thank you, Mike. What we learned from that is we can't talk smack about Mike as he listens to the show.
Yeah.
Not that we ever would, Mike. We love you.
Nice. All right. Well, our inbox is always open. So if you want to send us a 10th anniversary message, our 10th anniversary lasts all year. So you can send that. You can record on your phone, or you can just do a voice memo if you don't want to show your face, whatever you want. You can send to share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com. And now it's time to celebrate 100 years of Disney animation.
Oh boy! Come on, Minnie. This is it.
Let's get the gang.
Yoo-hoo! Picture time, guys.
Okay.
100 years of stories.
Make it pink. Make it blue.
100 years of magic.
Ooh. Oh, help and bother.
Celebrate 100 years of Disney with Disney's new original short film, Once Upon a Studio.
Goofy, careful.
On October 16th, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of Walt Disney Animation Studios. And to highlight this century mark, The Wonderful World of Disney on ABC debuted a special short called Once Upon a Studio. Now, if you didn't see it there, you can now watch it on Disney+. So the premise behind the short is that a bunch of animators are leaving the Walt Disney Animation Building for the evening, and on the way out, Disney legend and animator Bernie Mattinson muses to a young artist, "If these walls could talk." And in the next 8 minutes, that's exactly what happens. 543 characters, beginning with Mickey and Minnie, from over 85 Disney films and shorts. They come out from their paintings and their cells. They interact, and they ultimately gather to hopefully take a group picture outside the animation building.
Yeah, Once Upon a Studio will make you laugh, and more importantly, it'll make you cry.
Oh, yes. So we were able to attend a special event with the directors of this film, Dan Abraham and Trent Corey, and we learned some special behind-the-scenes fun facts. And they're all in an article on skywalkingthroughneverland.com, but we wanted to share a couple of those facts with you right now. My favorite part of this. Now, when we first saw the film, there's a moment, like all the characters are interacting, right? So you have Ka, the snake, coming and he's going to try to cause trouble, but along comes Rapunzel and she's like, "Nope, I got this."
She's got her frying pan.
She's got her frying pan,
She's
right?
going to settle his hash.
Yeah. And then there's a point where Donald Duck wants to use the elevator, but who down the hall says, "Wait for me"?
Wait for me. Please hold the elevator.
It's Flash from Zootopia. So all these fun characters interact so much, but there's a moment where Mickey is by himself in the hallway and he sees this picture of Walt. Oh my God, I can't get through this. And you hear Feed the Birds on the piano. Like I heard it in our first viewing. And it's this soft, gentle version of Feed the Birds, which is, of course, from Mary Poppins, my favorite Disney film, composed by Richard Sherman. And what we learned from the directors is that moment on piano, that is Richard Sherman playing. They specially recorded him in Walt's office on the piano that Richard Sherman would play Feed the Birds for Walt when he was alive. And Walt would famously come in the office on a Friday afternoon and ask Richard Sherman to play him Feed the Birds. And so they recorded it this past year on Walt's piano in his office with Richard Sherman on a Friday afternoon. Oh my God. Like I freaked out when we learned that.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
You wouldn't think those worlds would collide ever again, but yet they did.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Richard, what's your favorite moment of this short?
I just love seeing all the characters come together. I've always loved a good mashup.
Yeah.
And now I see all the mashing up of all these Disney characters and Pixar characters. And is it Pixar?
No Pixar.
No
it's
Pixar.
Just Walt
yes.
Disney Animation characters.
Yes.
Yeah, so like even like someone asked in the Once Upon a Studio whether they thought of like bringing Mary Poppins in. Well, no, but they have the Mary Poppins penguins.
Yeah, these are just the animated characters.
Right.
So yeah, it just dawned on me there are no Pixar because they're not really part of the 100 years of animation.
Right.
And
it's a different company.
Yeah, so once again, I love a good mashup. And this was my ultimate dream short. And then just hearing the voices. When you're hearing them, you're thinking, wait a minute, are these being redone? Are they archival? And it looks like it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Because some actors had unfortunately passed away. So you're getting some of the archival and the actors come in and just read like a line.
Yes. Yes, you have like Robbie Benson and Paige O'Hara who play the Beast and Belle respectively. They have a little line right there right before they take the group photo. And yeah, those two came in to record just like those lines.
Okay, I want to see the behind the scenes on this.
Oh, me too. Me too.
The actors taking off their coats and the director saying, no, don't take off your coat. You won't be here that long.
Yeah.
And now Peter Pan.
Yes.
When he flew by and says,
"Come on, everybody, here we go."
That did sound very, very period.
Yes.
Like the recording wasn't crisp. And even though they had remastered a lot of the clips, I want to believe that they had left that one just a little archival, a little bit period, just to give it that more of a not all of these have come from the same time frame, the same era. So I think they gave it a little bit of a not the greatest remastered sound.
Well, the directors did say that they wanted certain visual cues to be very nostalgic and certain audio cues to be very nostalgic. And so what they did was they used that exact line from Peter Pan of Bobby Driscoll, who played Peter Pan, and they tried to clean up the sound around it, but it was recorded in the 50s with whatever recording equipment they have. So yes, it does have that quality.
But that was the only line in the whole short that I could hear this not being 100% cleaned up.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that was an artistic choice.
I think so too. Yeah, they wanted it to be an audio cue because it is very like as soon as he starts saying, "Come on, everybody," I'm like, "Here we go," because we used that in our original opening. Of Skywalking Through Neverland.
I just love those little touches.
Yeah.
So much love is put into every single bit of this film, but every character, every animated move, it was not something they would ever say, "Oh, this is good enough."
Oh no.
Painstakingly went over every frame of this just so it hit everyone's nostalgic nerve.
And in fact, a question I asked at the very beginning was, what were some of the things that were left on the cutting room floor? And while they didn't say that, they didn't like directly answer me, but they did say that their initial cut was 13 minutes long, and they had to cut that down to 8.5 minutes.
So immediately, my follow-up question was, "What'd you cut?"
And they didn't answer it, but what you gonna do? But okay, so one of the things, we were talking about these audio cues. Well, the visuals are fantastic. I mean, there's different animation styles from the 1930s all the way up to today with, mixing 2D and 3D animation. And so the filmmakers, everything in here is new animation. It's all newly animated, but they did have a hand-drawn animation supervisor, Eric Goldberg, and he was in charge of making sure that the animators did things like within the period
to uphold continuity from where you had seen them first.
Yeah.
And once again, spot on.
Yeah, and Eric Goldberg, to remind you guys, he was the character designer and supervising animator on Genie in Aladdin, and there is a Genie moment in this short, which I love. He was also the animator on Phil and Hercules and many, many more, but he was in charge of doing things like making sure that the animation for the 101 Dalmatians had that Xerox quality look. Like if you look at the line, it's like a very sketchy lines on all the Dalmatians.
They had to screen this twice because you can't just screen at the press conference. You couldn't just screen it once because we were just so ecstatic and just trying to figure out what we're watching. Because once again, you're thinking, wait a minute, how are they doing this? How are they doing that? And these moments that just touch you, and by the time it's over, it's like, wait a minute, can we watch that again? Because too many emotions were flooding in, and I couldn't really watch it. So let's see it for the first time again.
I think one of the moments, another favorite moment of mine, I love the Rapunzel moment. Like, that's so cool. But I love the moment, like, the camera breaks that Goofy's trying to take a picture of everyone. And so, like, everyone is sad and, not Goofy. Who's Eeyore? Eeyore's like, "Oh, I guess we can try again in another 100 years. Which is funny. But I love the moment where, they're all trying again, but there's a broken camera on the ground. Well, Fix-It Felix comes from Wreck-It Ralph and goes, doot, 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 and it, like, fixes
and it's fixed. And it's fixed. All right, now, there was one question I wanted to ask, but I didn't get a chance to ask at the press conference. Did they hide Fat Albert in that big collage?
Wait, who's Fat Albert?
What? Fat Albert is the show that Bill Cosby had produced back in the 1970s. You had the Fat Albert and the Fat Albert Gang.
Oh my gosh.
He is one of the originators of Hey Hey Hey.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, they did mention Garfield.
They did. And I wasn't sure if that was. Wait, hold on. Before you go
Okay,
there.
I'm sorry.
So Fat Albert, off to the right, it's a character which I don't know. It's not Fat Albert. It's a character I don't know.
Okay.
But I can guarantee you, right now in this day and age, they're making no reference to Bill Cosby.
No.
Yeah, it's a character with a red shirt and like
Okay.
suspenders.
Oh. On the
Yeah.
right side?
On
of
the far right
Far
side.
right,
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll have to go back and see that because I at first I thought, hey, they're playing with other Saturday morning cartoons here. Yeah. So what was the reference to Garfield?
It was just because they hit his head, and so.
But were they referring to the feline?
Yes.
Garfield?
I think so. I think so, which is not obviously Disney, but that's why, because they hit their head, so they're kind of not. They're not all there. John Henry, Julie is saying. John Henry? Oh, it is.
Okay,
Wreck-It Ralph.
so Ralph is walking out of the building, and he calls Mickey Mouse Garfield. Maybe if he calls him like Chucky, as in Chuck E. Cheese, because he's a rat, a mouse, but they call him Garfield. There's something beyond that, I want to
Okay.
say. Now, if you look over here to, oh boy, where is he? Oh, right here, all the way to the right. I want to believe
Okay,
is
we
right
can't tell.
here. I thought that was Fat Albert.
Okay.
Oh, there should have been like a closer shot and panning
Yeah.
the crowd so we can get a better
It's
shot.
right next to Baymax. To the right of Baymax, there's some guy in an orange shirt, but we can't.
Yeah, and
see
it
who that is.
wasn't until this morning we were watching it again. And Sarah, you pointed out the skeletons from Skeleton Dance.
Yes, they're on the far left, right by the Raya dragon, Sisu, right? And oh my gosh, that's Yen Sid. Yen Sid is right by Sisu, and Yen Sid is from the Mickey short.
Okay.
Fantasia.
Now we're being told in the Sky Chat, John Henry is a 2000 animation short.
Oh, from Fantasia 2000? Oh, no, based on African American folk hero John Henry. Okay.
Okay, so then you saw him too.
Okay.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
We learned something new.
Right.
Now, what I want to know is in this picture, are there actually 101 Dalmatians? Because it does look like there's plenty.
Yeah, I'm counting at least 25.
Yeah.
And also in this big gathering is Asha from the new Wish film that's coming out next month.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where she is, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah. There's Moana.
But yeah, this will be a print at some point.
Oh,
because
yeah.
this is just an amazing shot. That last shot of all of everyone getting together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am so excited for this. Yeah, and in fact, I mean, just what an awesome idea. Like, if the walls of the animation studios could talk. Oh, and everybody, if you want to know what Walt Disney Animation building is like, that it's in that short. They did
They shot
record
it.
all the background shots there.
Yeah, all the live action.
Yeah. Because we've been there, and it's like, oh, there's the entrance, there's the commissary,
Mhm.
there's the hallways.
And those two guys who hold the doors open for the young artist and Bernie Mattinson, those are the directors of the short.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they're
you're
trying
right.
so hard not to look at the camera.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, Julie's saying they gave the print to Disney cast members. Thank you, Julie. That's amazing.
Great.
Oh, I'm so happy they did that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we want to know what your favorite moment is. So please let us know. Comment on any of our posts. You can DM us at SkywalkingPod. There's just one other little thing I want to share. And I didn't even share this in the article. But in the pitch meeting about this short, like what are they going to do for 100 years of Disney animation, Trent, Corey, and Dan Abraham told Jennifer Lee, who is the head of Walt Disney Animation Studios, their idea. And in the pitch meeting, she left the screen. It was a Zoom meeting. She left and they're like, is everything okay? She came back. Her glasses were off and tears were like falling down. They made her cry.
It's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Because nothing says anniversary like a mashup.
Oh, yeah.
Like what we did for our 10th anniversary, mashed up all of our shows.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of these kinds of shorts.
Mm-hmm.
When you add just different characters from different, it's almost like Roger Rabbit.
Ooh, yeah.
Wait, was Roger Rabbit in there? No, that was
Was that Warner Brothers?
no, that was Universal.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But Disney allowed characters to be used. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So yeah, too many legalities there, adding Roger Rabbit in there. Sorry, Justin Smith. All right, now to further celebrate the 100th anniversary, Disney held a D23 Royal Anniversary Ball on October the 15th on the Walt Disney Studios lot. Now, the gala was open to D23 members, including our friend and host of the Max Effects podcast here on the Skywalking Network, Max Cervantes, and he is here now to share his experience. Max? Max.
To further celebrate the 100th anniversary, Disney held a D23 Royal Anniversary Ball on October 15th on the Walt Disney Studios lot. And the gala was open to D23 Gold members, including our friend and host of the Max Effects podcast here on the Skywalking Network, Max Cervantes, who is here now to share his experience.
Hey, Max!
Hey, Skywalkers. The gala was really amazing. We were allowed to enter the studio lot at 4:30 to park, and then we would have to wait in line until 5, but that also included, though, we could go do shopping in the company store, the regular company store that was there on the lot, and then they had set up a special D23 Disney 100 shop that was exclusively catering to all of the special D23 Disney 100 products that had been custom made for the event for the evening.
Oh, wow. Did you end up purchasing any of that?
I did. I bought a really nice print that I liked. It was really nice. I like the old-fashioned, like the sort of silk screen prints that you used to see at the front of the entrance of the park to Disneyland from when it first opened. It was done in that style, and it featured Mickey Mouse, and it said something like "Once Upon a Dream," and then they had I liked the Spirit jersey that they had. It was a dark royal blue with a gold micro dust in the fabric. And on the back of it, it said D23 Gold member. And on each sleeve, there were sort of like little iconic symbols for different things. Like there was an X-Wing, which was like the symbol to represent Star Wars. There was Thor's hammer to represent Marvel. And there was different objects down each of the sleeves to represent different sort of things having to do with the parks, having to do with the studio, having to do with Disney Plus. I really liked that. There was some really nice stuff, and I met some nice people there. There was a girl there who was dressed in this beautiful, full, traditional Japanese kimono, and she had flown all the way from Tokyo for the D23 event.
Oh my gosh.
While waiting. It was amazing. I met other people from other parts of the earth who came all the way to Burbank for this event. While waiting in line for one of the photo op subject places that they had, I met this really wonderful couple who were all the way from Belgium, and they were here on their honeymoon.
That is so cool. Well, you know what? You're mentioning how people are dressed, but this is a royal ball. So how did you dress to go to this event?
Well, I was a little flummoxed at first thinking about what I would wear, because I'm not normally a sort of dress up sort of person, dressy sort of stuff. I'm very much a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy, or in my case, t-shirts and cargo shorts kind of guy. But luckily, my very good friend Roberta Brubaker, who works at Disney Park, Disneyland, she's been there for 42 years. Shout out to Roberta. She's one of my very, very best and longest friends. We've known each other since we were 17 years old, and we're both roughly the same age now. And it's like I'm 63, so we've been friends for a very long time. She knew how much I loved some of the outfits I had seen that were available for purchase at the Galactic Star Cruiser in Orlando, but there was no way I'd ever be able to get out there with my work schedule and everything. And so through some other friends of hers who are cast members, she was able to purchase for me one of the replica outfits of Bail Organa's from the Galactic Star Cruiser. It was this beautiful dark green wool long jacket and shirt, and it had these beautiful like suede leather trim on the collar and on the undershirt under the jacket had like real leather details on it, and I really liked the color. It was a dark forest green and had these two really beautiful real metal accented sort of like they look kind of like a Star Wars sort of looking like wrist communicator like device that were stitched onto the sleeves, onto the cuffs of the sleeves.
Yeah, we saw that when we were on the Galactic Star Cruiser, and I'm looking at this outfit going, there's no way I could ever pull this off myself. That is an exquisite outfit. What were some of the other outfits you had seen that night?
Oh wow. You know what? A lot of the girls they were like, it was kind of like going to your prom. You saw a lot of girls and guys dressed up in really nice, elegant ball gowns and tuxedos and everything. There was a beautifully dressed older couple, man and woman, and they were dressed as royalty. They looked like something out of like Sleeping Beauty, and they were both dressed as a king and queen. One of the photo ops is that they had the actual golden carriage from the live action version of Cinderella was there, and you could get your photo taken with it. And if you remember it from the movie, it's this big, beautiful, just like way over the top, almost I can't think of the style that it's done in. I want to say Rococo, but
That sounds right. Feel like filigree, Rococo.
yes, heavily filigreed, and it was done in this like dark gold metallic finish. And it was just beautiful, and I got a wonderful picture of them in front of that carriage, and they looked perfect for it.
Once you've gotten into the gala, what kind of events were going on? What kind of activities?
Well, once you first entered, there was the royal processional down the royal purple carpet, and I took pictures and video of it. At the front entrance, there was two castle-like spires to sort of like this is the entrance point, and they had live trumpeters heralding you into the event. And these are like the old-fashioned trumpeters with the big long horns, and they're playing, their horns live. There was like three of them on each side, and then there was like a sort of like a court announcer who was speaking loudly and saying and welcoming everybody into the D23 gala and everything. And then you basically continued walking down, and there were several photo ops as you first came in. There was a big, huge photo op right in front of the Sherman Brothers Theater, which is where they do a lot of the sound recording now, and it was renamed in honor of the Sherman Brothers. And but there was this beautiful backdrop of the Disneyland castle where you could get your photos taken. Oh, and also once you got past the heralders, there were people handing out these tall, beautiful flutes of champagne.
Wow.
And and so there was the champagne, there was the photo ops, there was another photo op further down where you could meet Cinderella and the fairy godmother, and next to that was where the carriage was. And so you just kept walking down this pathway, and there were different photo ops, and there were different food stations where you get free food. It was kind of like party food. It wasn't meant to be like a sit down kind of meal. You walk up, you get your party nibbles, and you enjoy them, and but all the food was also themed to the event, to the evening, and to the time. Like the first one I came across was themed to the Three Caballeros, and there was a sign. The sign told you what year the movie came out and what the food item was, and these were like 3 cheese empanadas. There was Mary Poppins, practically perfect finger sandwiches, which were little tea sandwiches of different types. And then further down, there was these really moist and incredibly tasty chocolate cupcakes with the gray stuff on it from Beauty and the Beast. And the gray stuff was this really tasty, it was gray, but it didn't taste anything like anything you would think would be gray. It was this really tasty, sort of like peanut butter and caramel icing, which had been tinted gray. There were Tron themed sliders. They were chicken sliders.
Wait, how is that Tron themed?
Oh, because they slide like the light cycles.
I heard that every decade they would have a different food for each decade. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Each decade had a different food, and that's how the different foods were themed. And then on one of the sides there was 10. I think there was like 10 different sort of like tableaus, again, picture spots, and it was like it was meant to represent one decade in the Disney company history. And I took pictures of almost, I think, all of those, and there was these big, beautiful banners. They were like easily like 25 feet across, 20 feet or 15 feet tall, and they were done in it's really beautiful, sort of like flat, stylized, again, silk screen styled artwork. And the artwork also changed to represent the different decades, you know. So there was one on just the first 10 years of the company, and then the second, and such, and so on and so forth. And then near the very end of it is where you ended up in front of the big Disney Seven Dwarfs building, which is really famous because the angled eaves of the building are held up by the Seven Dwarfs, and Dopey is the center holding up the apex.
This is the Frank G. Wells building you're talking about.
It's the big building where all the executives have their offices. It's where Bob Iger would have his office and all of those people. And down in the forecourt is where the forecourt of legends are, where all the Disney legends get their handprints and their signatures in cement on these columns. And they turned that area into like a big dance floor, and they had a live band playing music. When I arrived, I got there just in time, and I recorded this and I posted it up on my Instagram, on my Facebook, and on my Max Effects page on Facebook. They were playing a live all strings version of Feed the Birds, which, as everybody knows, was Walt's favorite song, created by the Sherman Brothers. And they were playing that as sort of like a start of the evening.
Oh, wow. And this was a string quartet that was playing this. I saw this, that you posted it, and it was beautiful.
And then in front of that was a dance floor. A little later, they had, the audience was invited to come out and dance. And then they brought out professional dancers who did a whole beautiful choreographed dance routine. And then after that, and they brought out this whole bevy of Disney legends. There was Wing Chow, there was Bob Gurr.
Yeah, there was Bill Farmer, who does the voice of Goofy. And then producer and director Don Hahn.
And then there was the two people who are presently the present voices of Mickey and Minnie. And the gentleman who is also the voice of Mickey is also Mickey's official portrait artist. And he had produced for the 100th a beautiful artwork, of which the original is touring the world right now with I think it's in Germany right now for the Disney 100th tour. And it was that point they told all of us guests that everybody would be leaving tonight with a print of the artwork at the end of the evening.
Did he use the Mickey voice?
No. That was the one thing I
Oh,
was
come
a
on.
little
You're right
disappointed. I was
there.
hoping you
Just
would
do
have.
it.
And that voice, that gentleman is Brett Iwan, and he is the official voice of Mickey Mouse.
Thank you.
And Caitlin Robrock is the official voice of Minnie Mouse. So they were in
Yes.
attendance.
And they didn't do the voices? Come on. Max,
I
why didn't you stand up
know.
and say
It's like,
something?
come on. I didn't want to get thrown out.
Well, I am jealous of this Fantasia Mickey poster
Yeah.
poster that you got from Brett Ewan, because it is beautiful. It's Fantasia Mickey. Like, that's my
your
favorite Mickey ever.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah.
I saw that online. I was like, oh, it's so pretty.
So what was the main event of the night?
Well, that's the funny thing. There were so many things. Like, to me, that was my highlight, getting to see the string quartet play Feed the Birds and then getting to see this presentation. Those were kind of like my highlights of the evening, as well as then getting to go see the public premiere of the Once Upon a Studio short animated film and see it in the Fantasia Theater on the lot there. That theater was built for Fantasia back in the day, and it was one of the first theaters built with true stereo sound, so that they could watch Fantasia and hear it the way it would be heard in theaters across the country, at least those theaters that would be equipped with the Fanta sound system, which had been custom designed for Fantasia.
Now, were the directors of that short there? Did they introduce it? Trent Corey and Dan Abraham?
Yes, they were both there. They introduced it, and then they sat down front. And I had to tell you, okay, I'm a grown 63-year-old man, and it brought tears to my eyes to watch this short. It was so good. So good.
Oh, it just brought tears to our eyes.
Yeah.
And just the mix of old animation into new animation, old voice recordings into new voice recordings. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and it's so cool that you got to see it on the lot in that main theater. Well, I also heard that at this event, because we were heavily thinking about going it. We wanted to do it. We were on the fence. We just work schedule turned out that we couldn't do it. But what I was wondering is there was an archives exhibit as well. Did you ever see any of that?
I actually had. I'd seen it once before, but this was a whole brand new grouping of archive objects. But unfortunately, I did not make my way down there because I was waiting in line for so many different photo op spots. I never quite got a chance to go down there to the archive to go see it, though.
Okay, I was wondering about that because it was, I think, only about 3 hours or 4 hours long. Is that how long you had?
Yeah, the whole event. The event officially started at 6 and then officially ended at 9. But they weren't shushing people out at 9 o'clock. People hung about till long after 9:30 to 10 even, because they kept the two stores open, both the cast member store, the regular one that's on the lot, and the special D23 store. Those ones stayed open until at least about 10. Later in the evening, I ran into two of my Star Wars friends, and we were the only 3 out of all the people that I saw that night that were dressed up in Star Wars gear.
Oh my!
So
what were they dressed up as?
Yeah, but one of my friends, he was dressed up in his own sort of Mandalorian-esque armor and such, and I mean full armor, including helmet.
Wow!
And then his friend that was with him, I should say, she was dressed more kind of like a cross between like the armorer, the Mandalorian armorer, or someone who works on repairing droids.
Nice.
You think at a ball, people would be more dressed up in gowns and tuxedos,
right?
And you wouldn't think to wear armor.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you had mentioned, Max, that on social media that you met several Disney legends. Did you get a chance to talk to any of these people?
I did. I got to meet and get photographs with the 2 gentlemen who directed and wrote the Once Upon a Studio short. I got to meet the gentleman who is the voice of Mickey Mouse. So that was pretty cool. I got to meet Bob Gurr, but I've met Mr. Gurr at other events and everything. So yeah, it was really cool. It was really so nice that nobody was mobbing them, nobody was pestering them. They were just being there, and people were just going up to them casually and just being polite and just wanting to shake a hand and tell them how much they loved their work.
Out of curiosity, what was the entrance fee?
It was $200. Yeah, it was kind of pricey for one person.
Do you feel like the whole evening, was it worth the price?
I think I would say yes, because it was such a special event, and they really did have an awful lot of really special, one-of-a-kind sort of things to do that you could do. I mean, there was all the food, there was liquor, like I said, the free flutes of champagne as you entered, and the shows, the performances, and all the different photo op spots.
Earlier when we were talking about coming in, you saw all these characters. Sarah, you had shown a picture of Mickey and Minnie in these special outfits. Were those new outfits for this event?
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that there's Mickey in kind of a royal ball outfit.
With a crown, and
Minnie too has like a princess royal costume on. Did you see the characters as well? Was there any other characters that you saw?
Oh, yes. I got a photo op spot with Chip and Dale, and they were also appropriately dressed in royal garb, like as if they were a couple of heralds, for Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah.
There was Mickey and Minnie themselves. I saw them stroll past me, and I got some video of them. And
Goofy.
Yeah, almost. Yes, Goofy was dressed as a jester. He was in a classical sort of jester outfit.
This is really bothering me because we were at Disneyland that night, so how could these characters be in both places at the same time? I don't understand how that could work.
It's magic. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, baby.
Oh, okay. But, trying to bippity-boppity up the 5 freeway, no magic is going to supersede that.
Oh, well, that's why it's got to be magic, because you ain't going nowhere on the 5 freeway fast.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I'm calling shenanigans on this. I don't know which one is the real Mickey, but
I agree.
Come on, there's got to be an investigation.
They're all the real Mickey. That's all part of the magic, baby. It's all part of the magic.
Attack of the Mickey clones.
Well, I think I would have been all night at that royal ball area watching the dancers and hearing the string quartet.
I'm glad I went. The Disney company only turns 100 once every lifetime, so.
Every century, oddly enough.
Yeah. A bit of history, too. The parking structure where we all had to park, which is on the lot, is called the Zorro parking structure. The reason being is that where that structure is where the old Disney backlot was, and that's where the Zorro Village was when they had made the original Zorro TV show back in the early 60s.
Wow.
Well, it always breaks my heart when I hear about backlots and studios just being demolished to put up parking lots.
Me too.
It's
Me too.
crushing.
Pay paradise, put up a parking
lot. Why
exactly.
do that? Come on.
Yeah.
You brought the whole thing down.
Yeah.
All right, Max, so if anyone wants to see your pictures or your videos, where can they go and see all this?
Well, you can find them on my different social medias. I am on Instagram as Maximass1138, Maximass1138. And then I'm on Facebook as Max Cervantes. And then on Facebook, you can find my Max Effects podcast group page, which is the Max EFX podcast page on Facebook. So I usually will post that sort of stuff in those 3 different socials.
Excellent. Yeah, and I've been enjoying following that all week. So thank you for sharing that, Max. And yeah, we're so happy that you told the story for our Skywalkers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. And it was, like I said, it was a lot of fun. The only thing that wasn't fun, as beautiful as I loved the Bail Organa outfit, oh my God, it was hot. It was very warm Sunday night. So I suffered for my art. I looked good, but I was sweating.
Max, well, you know what they say, never land on Alderaan, even in your Bail Organa outfit.
Exactly, because, Alderaan go boom.
Yeah.
Looks like Max had a great time.
Yeah, I'm so happy we're able
And
to talk to him about it.
A lot of other Skywalkers were there too.
Yeah, I saw Luella was there.
Yeah, Loriola, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Maybe for the 200th anniversary, we'll get there. All right, now, before we speak with Leilani Shu about working with costume designer Shawna Trpcic, let's hear from Shawna herself when she was interviewed on the Gold Derby YouTube channel about a month ago. Now, when we spoke with Leilani, we spoke with her yesterday, and you'll hear that in a few minutes. We spoke about how much Shawna loved cosplayers. And in this clip, you're going to hear she talks about Jack Black, who played Captain Bombardier in the Mandalorian episode Guns for Hire, in an episode she was nominated for an Emmy.
Oh my gosh.
So here she is talking about how much she loves cosplayers and Jack Black.
I've been involved with the cosplay community since my days in Firefly. And so I've been going to Comic-Con for 20 years. And I have a very deep love and appreciation for all cosplayers. And stepping into the Star Wars world was like the treasure chest of cosplay, because I know how much they love every detail. And that, I don't know, it inspires myself and all the fans that I work with, because most of my crew are great fans of the universe, of the galaxy. So, on Ahsoka's, I'll add a little stitch that only those who are really paying close attention will find. And it's the same with Jack Black. So the pin is the Amnesty Program pin that was designed by, Doug Chang and Josh Props. And so it's very important to us that we show that he was former Imperial. And so that button tells you that story immediately. The gold chain across here, that was established by Count Dooku in a million years ago. So that's the magistrate chain. And then I wanted to add a military chain because I just wanted to pour all the frosting on the cake because he could carry it off.
So she likes to put those details in, and then she looks at cosplayers to see if they caught him.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
And they always do.
Yeah.
They always do. But it's great to hear that she really had an affinity for the cosplayers and really thought about them. And she's got those cosplayers in mind. And you were saying when we talked with Leilani that she is in a lot of cosplaying groups and really helps them out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have seen that like 15, 20 years ago.
No.
All right. So next, here she is once again talking about using her designs, her Mandalorian and Boba Fett designs for the Disney park characters.
So we have Din Djarin, we have Boba Fett, and we have Fennec walking around Disneyland now.
Oh,
and
I forgot about Fennec, yeah.
I think there might be more. Disney brought the costume to the studio when we were shooting so that Doug Chang and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and myself and Josh Props could all be a part, and Maria here could all be a part of realizing these characters to be walk around characters, because there's certain things you have to simplify because they have to fit different types of bodies, and they have to be out in the heat, or they have to be running around on a Disney ship. There's different things that we have to allow for, but some things you don't want to compromise on because people would get it. The cosplayers will get it instantly. So Disney Parks is incredible. They recreated the fabrics. They took our notes on character and stitching and the character of the fabric. And then with Din Djarin's paint job, it was slightly off. And I said, we have the formula, just use our formula straight. And they're like, thank you, and we gave them our books with all the swatches in it so they could match the textures. And they were just really grateful that we were so willing to pass this on. But it's important to us. We're fans too. And I want the characters walking around Disney parks to be as close to the original as possible so that cosplayers can enjoy them.
Boy, she hit it right on the head right there, because heaven forbid one small thing on those Disney characters were off, and you would not stop hearing about it on social media. So when you go there and you see all these characters looking like they just jumped out of the screen, you can thank Shawna for that.
I love that.
Yeah. Now, there was such an outpouring of love and condolences on social media right after she passed away. Ming-Na Wen, who plays Fennec Shand, she said, heartbroken, in shock, our beloved friend and costume designer, R.I.P. Shawna Trpcic. You are legendary. Condolences to her family and friends. We're all blessed to have been a part of her world.
Yeah, Dave Filoni also posted on social media, Shawna had a deep love and appreciation for Star Wars. You can see that in every piece of work she did with us. She loved everything about being a part of these stories, including connecting with fans and being a part of that community, which we just saw.
Lucasfilm wrote in tribute on StarWars.com, she was considered something of a Star Wars historian by her peers, reading every making of book she could find to better understand the techniques used in the films during various eras. And you'll hear later on when we talk with Leilani how she really was a Star Wars costume historian. Now there's so many others, so go on social media, put in Shawna Trpcic, and it's spelled Trpcic, and you'll see just the floods and floods of social media heartfelt messages.
Yeah.
We are so happy to have Leilani Shu back on the show. Leilani worked very closely with Shawna Trpcic on The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett.
She joins us now to share stories of working with the award-winning costume designer.
Hey, Leilani.
Hi.
Hey, great to have you back on the show. Just wish it were under better circumstances. Now, let's just say this up front so everyone knows, while the SAG strike is still going on, we know you're not allowed to say any names. So if need be, we'll use code names like The Mandalorian can be The Mercenary, Book of Boba Fett will be The Bounty Hunter, and Obi-Wan Kenobi can be the Jedi Master. That way, we're not mentioning any specific names. Sound good?
Sounds good. I hope I remember all of what you just said.
Yeah. Now, you worked on so many shows with her, so can you tell us a little about the relationship you two had?
She was great. She came in, I started in season 1, and she came in season 2, and she's been with me personally ever since.
And this is the show, the Mercenary. Now I'm getting confused. The Mercenary. Season 2. Okay, got it.
Okay.
and she just, it was great when she took over. She came to, because there was a whole bunch of us, and then it narrowed down to a couple of us. So when it narrowed down, then she was fond of me and my daughter. So she would ask me questions, and I would because season 1, we were scared to even say something like, it's hard to go to the bathroom, or it's hard to do this, or, that we'd just be little angels because we were excited to be part of it, right? Part of history. And so when I went in for my fitting, she really cared. She was a caring person. She really cared about her job. She cared about the people. She cared about the actors, and she cared about, her designs and everything coming to life. So she would ask me questions like, are you okay? Anything we need to change, etc. And I'm open to, whatever you have to, your input. And then I would tell her, I was in the previous season, our outfits were really long. And so when we can't see and we run, we would trip, it was hard to move around because, we are
And these are the Jawa costumes. I can say that, you can't.
we're blinded. And so
Yes.
you want to say, okay, when I call action, run, or different things. So then I would tell her, I'm well, we trip because these gowns are so long. So then she fixed it. She made them shorter. And then I told her, well, it's cool because now, we're kind of permanent, I think. So is it cool that we make it to us, And she goes, absolutely. And then what she did is she put our names especially with mine, she put my name inside of it. So she had everything engraved, because we would tell her we don't want to use someone else's costume. And then when COVID hit, I was definitely didn't want to touch other people's stuff.
Definitely.
So she was cool because she would listen to me, and then I tell her, because the trailer bathrooms have like steps, and it's hard for us to mobilize, especially being small. So, I would say, it's hard, can we take off our stuff before going there? And they're like, oh, wow, yeah. And I says, imagine us in this tight room and, trying to go in this tight room to go to the bathroom. And it's like, it's hard, to move around, and especially if we can't reach and everything. So she was just great. She listened and, took our ideas. But what was great is like she's been with me for a while. She made designs, each one different. And when I had my I had, as you know, I'm different characters, and when they showed my face, so she made me costumes that made me just for me, and like there's this one. Hopefully, I'll get to wear it someday. It's really pretty. So hopefully, she put her all into it. I guess how do you say?
Oh wow! There was a great photo that you shared on your Facebook page with you and your daughter Ariel and Shauna, and you called Shauna the set mom.
Yeah.
And I know every set has got that mother hen set mom.
Oh
So
yeah.
did she take care of everyone on the set?
I think with her team she did, and then like everybody. I think that's why it's very hard for all of us that finding out this about her. It affected a lot of us that were close to her because we've been with her for a while. Some of us been with her for a while, and the ones that are the usuals have been with her for a while, and so it's like, yeah, I called her that because I actually have a couple of them, and then we have people underneath her that take good care of us, so they end up being mama to us, and especially us being small, they take care of us, and she always like every detail she would and then she would fix things, and usually when they're higher up, they don't do a lot of stuff with, you know, unless you're like the A-listers. And but she cared about everybody. It didn't matter if you're an A-lister to a, the just an extra. She cared about each person.
Was she on set a lot?
Oh
Or
yeah,
was it mostly? Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because normally you get the wardrobe people on set, and the costume designers are back in the
Right.
office designing the outfits. So it's great to
Mhm.
hear that she was the mother. She was really the mother hen on set.
Yes, when it came to costumes, yes, she was definitely,
Yeah.
like I have Maria who does my hair, and she's head of hair, and so it's great. Like I've been with her since the beginning. Because the beginning there wasn't that many, you know, people, right? And then they came in with a big staff as we go, right? So
Mm.
it's great that I'm close to the main person.
Yeah, so it must have hit you really hard when you heard the news, and you just
That's right.
when some things come across your news feed, it's like, hold on, I gotta scroll because that must be clickbait. That can't really be what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And at such a young age too. And have you heard any other news about what happened?
No, I'm actually going to her service. It's this
Oh.
week. No, it's just everybody just taking it in. I don't know what happened. I just know that, at least there's a GoFundMe to help her two children that she left. And it's a lot of people. It's great to see even fans are because the fans don't really work with like head of hair or head of costumes, head of or don't get to really meet them, right? And it's great to see the fans embracing her. I think
Yeah.
she would love that there's so many people that loved or giving her love. I think that's great.
Yeah, she talked always very highly of cosplayers and thinking about them when
Yes.
making costumes.
Well, she was like in a number of Facebook cosplay groups and would like help people do their
Correct.
cosplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how can you not love her?
That's amazing.
Yeah, so if anyone hasn't donated yet, her GoFundMe page is set up, and they were looking to raise $30,000, but as of today, October 16th, $41,000 was raised.
Great.
Wow.
That's awesome to hear. I'm glad.
Yeah, we'll definitely put that GoFundMe link in the show notes.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because if you guys can, it goes to her funeral expenses and her children. Because this is like,
Oh yeah.
she's, I mean, I'm almost her age, so it's she's still young, and
Yeah.
and her kids
Yeah.
are still young,
Yeah.
her son is the youngest. He's still young, so I'm sure that's hard.
Very, very hard. Now, going back to her costumes, was there like a unique feature that you noticed about her costume as compared to other costumers that you've worked with?
With her, it's I mean, she knew her stuff, so she did her research, and I think she loved the fandom itself, so that helps a lot. Because if you're not really into the fandom, then you don't give it your all, I would say. And she gave her all to it. You know, she knew like different things and what to do, like you know, like our creators, they were fans, and so
Mm.
when you're a fan, you really, as you could see, they put their, they see what was in the past, and then they make their own twist to it. So
Yeah.
I mean, look, her designs are beautiful. So
Yeah. I think her most unique feature was really knowing that Star Wars look. There's a certain
Mm.
aesthetic. If you were to see these costumes out anywhere else, you'd go, that's a Star Wars costume. That's a Star Wars costume.
Mhm.
That's a Star Wars wannabe costume.
she knew her stuff, and that's why I think being, if you're a fan of the fandom, that helps a lot too.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
like you guys, you guys are fan of the fandom, and then our friends like Spencer and them, from Virtual Cantina, they're fans of the fandom, and so they put their all into it, and in the 501st. So it's the same with Shawna. She put her heart into it, her heart and soul, and besides her creativity and her techniques, or she put everything to it.
Yeah.
Love was part of the recipe.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
apparently, yeah. Well, while doing research, I saw that while she was a senior in college, she was on Bob Mackey's design team.
Oh yeah, isn't that crazy? That's
Yeah,
great.
since Bob Mackey was a costume designer on the Star Wars Holiday Special, this has got me really excited. Did she ever mention working with Bob Mackey?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I didn't know that. Like a lot of this stuff we don't know, unfortunately, until now we're learning more about her.
Mm.
And I just knew her from you know more like a friend, a family. Being on set, and I didn't know, like, oh, now you see all her credits, and it's like, wow, she was amazing. She did a lot, like the Bob Mackley. That's big. I think of Dynasty. That's how old I am.
Well,
Bob Mackley did
Dynasty
that many
Dallas,
times, right?
Knots Landing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right
funny,
there.
I don't know. What?
Yeah, we know you don't know.
Richard does.
I know all about the Falcon Crest. You know
Yep.
what? Yeah,
Because
I saw
wasn't
them
Bob
all.
Mackie, like, he was known for stuff, that was that era. He was known
Hmm.
for that. So,
Yeah, very
John,
ostentatious.
was it Joan Collins, right? So
Joan Collins. Yep.
Oh.
he
Yeah.
designed a lot of her gowns and different things, so Linda Evans and them. So, so so that's cool that she was part, or studied
Yeah.
it, part of it.
I know if I worked with Bob Mackey, I'd have a shirt that says, "Yes, I worked with Bob Mackey from the Star Wars Holiday Special."
I know that's so big. That's huge. It'd be like, almost like the head of this fandom, the god. So when he walks in, it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's
How do you stop talking about that? She has got so many great costumes. What is your favorite Shawna Trpcic costume?
I think everything, because whatever she did, she like a lot of the designs I got to see, a lot of designs you guys got to see, I got to see up close. What was cool is like
Mm.
at the certain cons that you and I went to, the
Mhm.
three of us went to, it was cool because they had that showcase, right? And, like all her designs were all displayed. And you could see
Yeah.
how everything was highlighted or just every detail you could see up close. So,
Yeah, it's really great that they showcase these costumes and you're
Mhm.
able to see them in detail. I know, like, when at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, we got to see a lot of Ahsoka costumes, and like I was really like leaning up close to Ahsoka's costume because there's not a barrier around it, right?
Mhm.
And like one of the guys, the security watching, was like, "Can you please step back, ma'am?" I was like, "But I want to put my nose up here, see what fabric this is,
Yeah.
like I want to see these boots, I want to see what fastenings are used and all this stuff." But I was like admonished.
Oh, I'm sure they're saying that all day long.
Yeah.
Please back up. Please don't touch. Like,
Yeah.
well, then put it in a case, okay?
Exactly,
'Cause
yeah.
you're around cosplayers. We're gonna want to touch the fabric and feel the texture and
Look at
feel,
the
see how many
back.
layers there are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarah, what is your favorite Shawna
Oh,
Trpcic costume?
I would have to say, I mean, most recently, I love, well, Ahsoka the White. Come on. That costume is amazing. When she turned with the white cloak and her like kind of cloud blue
Mhm.
outfit, that outfit took my breath away when I saw it in the series, and I so wish that's going to be out on display at some point so we can see it up close. So that would be my favorite.
Okay.
Richard?
I'm gonna have to go with Garza Fwip from the Book of Boba Fett. Just that white flowy outfit from the Jennifer Beals costume.
Oh,
It was very Bob Mackie, but yet still Star Wars. So I think a little Bob Mackie found its way into Star Wars.
Oh,
The newer Star Wars stories.
It almost looks like it could fit right in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Very much so. Very much so. And I think this was one of her favorites too.
Oh.
One of Shauna's favorites.
Nice.
So yeah, everything she touched was really, it just hit home as being Star Wars.
Mhm.
Now, you know what? Now let's switch gears here and talk about you. You've been out and about lately. I've been following you on Facebook. What's going on with you?
And on Instagram, you have a lot of Entertainment Earth contacts.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, well, this month I like kind of like a takeover, I guess. Like featuring different products, so it's all like Halloween themed this month. So I think I have 2 more segments this month, all the way to Halloween. So it's cool. Actually, 3 more segments coming up. So that's cool. And then they really love me. The last con I was at, that you guys were at, they were there, and I'm friends with Steven, Gustavo from Big Time Rush. So he was the celebrity up there, and he would introduce celebrities and do unboxings and features of all the different toys that they had at Comic-Con. And so he had me on, and he introduced me to everybody. And so there's 2 brothers that own Entertainment Earth, and they fell in love with me, and then the whole team. So they asked me to do their segment on all their platform. So I'm this month. I'm featured this month. So
Now, is that on their YouTube, and is it on Instagram? Because I noticed some Instagram reels.
Instagram, it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. It's on all the social media platforms. And then I have a special code. So if anybody follows me, you can go to my link tree and click on it, and it automatically, you save 10%, and then you buy so much, you get free shipping, which is cool because a lot of that's where Funko gets a lot of their distribution comes out of there. And I only learned that because Funko told me. They're the ones that got me hooked with Entertainment Earth at first.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, I also noticed that you've been hanging around with Ming-Na Wen and
Yes.
Brendan Wayne from. I'll say it. Ming-Na Wen, of course, is Fennec Shan from the Book of Boba Fett, and Brendan Wayne is the Mandalorian. He does like 99% of the Mandalorian work.
Yeah.
So where did you get together?
We it was actually for hair and costume, the makeup department. They did like a craft fair, and all the money is raised for their union for the people because we're all not working, not just us actors aren't working. It's really affecting the people on set that actually put the stuff together. It's affecting them. So the strike. So the proceeds went to helping with dues and stuff because a lot of them can't afford it because actors, I mean, we have all side jobs and different things, and we don't depend on just the acting. Well, the hair, makeup, construction team, to you name it, they depend on being on the set and everything. So they're the ones that really also hurt from the strike. So their union put a hair and craft fair, and so Brendan was signing there. He signed there, and then I'm very close to Maria, who put it together. So Maria asked me. I went there, and then she invited all of us. So it was cool to be there. And then Ming showed up, so it was a really cool to see Ming, and and then so it was like a three of us reunion picture. It was great. And then we got to see all the hair and makeup team from all the because I did what is it, mud school. I did special what do you call it, the
Special effects prosthetics.
yes, as you can see, I did that, and a lot of them were there. A lot of the makeup artists from different shows that do prosthetics and everything, special effects makeup, they were there, so they were selling their stuff. So it was great to see everybody.
What kind of stuff were they selling?
A lot of collectibles, and they were selling good stuff. My managers and I, we donated a helmet. We had it all signed because usually, I'm good with charities. I just did Ronald McDonald House, and I had this white helmet, and I had it. We signed it. We collect all the signatures, and so we used that to donate to Ronald McDonald House. And they raised, with that helmet and me there presenting it, they raised $5,000 from that helmet. Somebody we auctioned it, and somebody bought it, so that was great.
Was it the Mandalorian helmet? If it was, just nod yes.
It was, yes. It was the white one, the prototype.
Oh, prototype. Wow.
So if you go to my Instagram, you guys should check it out. It came out really beautiful. They put it in a big glass setup, and then they had the light. So then when they brought it out with gloves, it was cool to see.
Oh, whose autograph was on it?
Everybody, Brendan, you name it. A lot of the actors from the shows. To get a helmet and collect all the signatures cost a lot of money.
See, I'll always leave it to the Star Wars fandom and the actors to do so much work for charities.
Oh yeah, it was great.
So that's fantastic.
I love doing it, and you see, I do a lot with the 501st. We do right now. They're doing Make-A-Wish the whole year. I got to visit kids and stuff, so that's what I do with me and my platform. I'm able to. I want to give back, and I love meeting kids, and that's what I want to do. So like the hair and makeup, we donated another helmet. The second show I was on, so we donated it and had it, and then I signed it big, and I told them, well, there's two other actors that are here. You can have them sign it if you win it.
So you know what? It's safe for me to say this is from the Book of Boba Fett. It was a Boba Fett helmet. Nod yes. Was this also a prototype, or is this screen used?
No, this was not screen used. This was the actual one that you buy. That's
okay.
$100. Yeah, and then a kid won it. Actually, it was a raffle, and a kid won it, and I was like, oh my god, he was so happy. He wrote me a letter, and he's 12 years old. He won it.
Wow.
On a raffle. Wow.
A $1 raffle. It was only $1 a ticket, and he won.
My goodness.
They had the glove. Someone donated the glove of Hayden. Okay, Hayden.
Ooh. Yeah.
Anakin's glove?
Yeah.
A glove. And so he signed it. So there was that glove. There was Ming's donated stuff. Each one of us. Marie got a lot of the cast because she works very close to the big actors. So she got a lot of stuff donated.
Yeah.
Is this something that anyone can attend if they know
Yes,
about it?
it was open to the public.
Okay.
Okay, so all these auctions, all these raffles is being done through the IATSE Local 706 Makeup Artists and Hairstylists Guild.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'll let you know next time there's another one because I was invited to one yesterday. I'll let you know. And you can donate your book. You could donate your book and sign it.
Oh, yeah.
You mean these books right over here today in Star Wars History Part 1 and 2?
Yeah, the one that I haven't got yet. Yep. Yes. You could donate.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Keep us in the loop here.
I will.
Please. All right, so we're going to see you in December. So aside from that, are you doing any other autograph signings at any other conventions?
Yeah, I'm leaving for Big Spring, Texas. I'm doing Crossroads, which is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I'm doing that, and then I'm doing LA Comic Con. And then
What are the dates there? I know LA Comic Con is the first weekend of December.
Yeah, first, second, third. So I'm doing that. I'm going to be in the Project Wish booth, and I'm going to be signing there. And then I think I'm on the Asian panel. I've been doing the Asian representation in comics and toys, so I believe I'm in that panel.
Nice.
And the one before that, when and where is that one?
That one is this weekend. It's at the YMCA in Big Spring, Texas, near Odessa, Midland, Texas. There's a whole bunch of voice actors and stuff, and then I'll be there.
Great.
Okay.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks at the IATSE auction and raffle bonanza. So thanks a lot for coming and talking with us about Shawna Trpcic. That's really heartfelt and it just took us by surprise. So it was great to talk to someone who actually had worked with her and could tell us how much care she had for all the actors and was the ultimate set mom.
Yes, we definitely love her, and I know it's taken a big toll on her costume team, because she had a huge team. So it's great that everybody's tributing to her, and I know they're very grateful to see the fans and everybody in the fandom, embracing her. So definitely.
Yeah. And once again, go to her GoFundMe page. We'll put that link in the show notes. So far, it's at 41,000. I think we can do better than that.
Absolutely. Yes. All right, Leilani. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
I know we can say this, but you can't. Utini. That wraps up episode 437 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to thank Leilani Shu and Max Cervantes for coming on the show and sharing all their stories. And thanks to all the Skywalkers in the Sky Chat for chatting us up. And to all the Skywalkers who comment on all of our YouTube content and Instagram and Facebook. Thank you, and thank you.
Are you interested in our books? Well, autographed copies of Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2, and Skywalking Through My Fandom, an interactive notebook, are available now from skywalkingthrough.neverland.com/book. And you can also support us. You can support us through Skywalking Force, our Patreon, and there you have access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions on Disney Plus shows like, let's see, what shows are on right now? Loki, which we have to get started on that.
Mm-hmm.
We just did Ahsoka,
yes.
We did The Bad Batch. We did WandaVision.
Yeah, and we also do some special parties for the Skywalking Force. And this bonus content begins at only $5 a month. So head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at any of the options. And we want to give a huge thank you to those of you who are part of the Skywalking Force.
Now, we want to thank our sponsor once again, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park? Well, you can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check it out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
We are part of the Skywalking Network. Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
Max Effects Podcast,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and Today in Star Wars History.
And as of this week, you will be able to find the Neverland Clubhouse and Totally Tell Me Everything on the Skywalking Through Neverland podcast feed and YouTube channel. So if you're looking for older shows of that will all be on the Skywalking feed, and look for them there. And new shows will also come out on the Skywalking feed. All right, you can find us on social media. We are at Skywalking Pod for Twitter, or for X and Instagram and Threads, but we mostly just post on Instagram and Facebook, and you can search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland to find us.
Don't bother going to Twitter. We're never there.
Yeah, you can also email us, share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com, and email those messages. We'd love to see them.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember,
don't get hit in the head by a Mickey Mouse balloon.
But enjoy it if you are. That sounded stupid.
And always remember, Neverland on Alderaan. Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.